Recording in progress.
For the Centennial School District Board of Directors this Wednesday, June 17th at 6:30 p.m. We're right on the dot. I'd also like for us to approve the agenda with maybe some flexibility depending on, we have guests here with us this evening as well. So do I have someone willing to motion the approval of the agenda with some flexibility?
Make a motion to approve the agenda with flexibility.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda with some flexibility. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we do have one board member joining us tonight virtually, and I will try to get my camera up and running so I can watch you. Did she officially raise her hand? Okay, great, thank you. Appreciate that.
Much appreciated.
There she is. We're into the agenda item for introduction of guests, recognitions, and presentations. And so this evening, we have the Pride Month proclamation. And as we normally will do, board members, we share in reading the proclamation. And we're going to start over with Director Stanley.
Whereas each year, the month of June is recognized as Pride Month, serving as an opportunity to celebrate the narratives, identities, and contributions of those within the LGBTQ+ community. And whereas LGBTQ+ is a term that encompasses multiple gender identities and sexual orientations, including lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, two-spirit, pansexual, asexual, gender fluid, non-binary, and intersex. And
Whereas the history of Pride Month honors the 1969 Stonewall riots, which served as a catalyst for the gay rights movement in the United States, and whereas our district values the diverse identities, experiences, and perspectives of our students, staff, and families, and recognizes that these contributions strengthen our schools and our community. And
whereas our students and staff have the right to learn and work in environments that respect and affirm their gender identity, gender expression, and sexual orientation. And whereas we acknowledge that the LGBTQ+ community has faced and continues to face systemic barriers to safety, equity, and inclusion, and endures disproportionately high rates of violence and discrimination. And
Whereas national data shows that the LGBTQ+ students report higher rates of experiencing bullying, harassment, and discrimination at school. And whereas access to affirming and supportive school environments substantially improves the mental health and school engagement of LGBTQ+ students. And
Whereas Centennial School District Board policy prohibits discrimination and harassment based on perceived or actual sexual orientation, gender identity, and other protected classes, and commits to creating inclusive learning and working environments. And whereas our district remains committed to fostering a culture of inclusion, safety, and belonging for all students, staff, and families.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the Board of Directors of the Centennial School District, hereby recognize June 1st through June 30th, 2026 as Pride Month and encourage staff, students, and community to engage in meaningful learning about the accomplishments and experiences of the LGBTQ+ community.
thank you, board members. Appreciate that. We're also going to be moving to introduction of guests, and Superintendent Owens, would you like to do our introductions, please?
All right, we've got a new administrative team coming together at Centennial High School, and so we have our incoming principal, Dr. Alexa Pearson, who is going to be introducing a new assistant principal, Emily Rios. So if they'd both come up here and make sure that the microphone is lit green, that'll let the audience be able to hear you.
okay.
I am so excited to introduce Emily Rios, who has been selected as the next assistant principal at Centennial High School and will officially begin her role on July 1st, 2026. However, she has already been starting. We've already been to graduation, and we've been doing a lot of things together. Emily brings more than 16 years of experience in education, most recently serving as an assistant principal of curriculum and instruction in Arizona. She has a strong background in instructional leadership, staff development, and building systems that support high levels of student learning. Her work reflects a deep commitment to creating inclusive, student-centered environments where all students can succeed. I was able to talk to each of her references, talk to them at length, and everyone across the board spoke about her integrity, her work ethic, and her student-centered instructional leadership. Emily is a bilingual leader. She speaks both fluent English and Spanish. She is passionate about equity, culturally responsive practices, and meaningful engagement with students, families, and the community. She also brings experience supporting special education, English language development, as well as counseling teams, and she also has worked as a Title IX investigator supporting student safety and supportive school environments. She recently moved, very recently, it's been a week, I think?
2.5 weeks.
Okay, 2.5 weeks. Moved to Portland area with her partner Leo and her son Julian as well, and as well as her 2 cats and 2 dogs. Drove across with their 2 cats in the car, I think. They actually just moved into their home in the Centennial community. She looks forward to partnering with students, staff, and families to build on the strong foundations already in place at CHS and continuing advancing our work that's aligned to our roadmap. And I am so thrilled to be working with her and to be learning from her. And so I'm so glad I had the opportunity to introduce her to this board, and please join me in welcoming her.
Thank you.
Emily, did she leave anything for you to say?
I don't know, I think I maybe took everything.
You did a lot. You did a lot. But I just wanted to thank you all for this opportunity. I had the privilege of being here in person and getting to know the school and the district during the interview process. And I truly believe that this was the best fit for me of all of the places I could have ended up in the Portland area. This is the best fit for me now that I've been on campus, seen it, went to graduation, worked with the teachers. I am 100% sure that not only is this the great team for me and school for me, but the best community for me as well, which is why we live here now. So thank you very much for selecting me and letting me have this opportunity and honor.
And your husband and son are here tonight as well.
Yes.
And
Yes,
this is a
they are.
family-oriented
This
community,
is their
so feel free
first
to-
ever board meeting being at with me. So I have my husband,
Come see us often, please.
Leo, my husband Leo, who is a writer and sometimes university professor, and then my son Julian, who is 12 and going into the 7th grade.
All right, welcome.
I just want to know your cats' names.
So I have 2 black cats named Cosmo and Casper, and then I
That's
also have 2
perfection.
black dogs.
That's okay.
Wow.
The cats are
Yes,
perfection.
my son agrees with you.
And he moved up to some really spectacular weather, and you'll be welcoming fall, which will be much different.
It's amazing. It's very surreal and it's beautiful. I can't get over how green and wonderful it is. And I know to expect the grays coming, but I'm enjoying this for now.
Sound like an Oregonian already.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, welcome. We're glad to have you here. You sound like a great fit for Centennial, so it's great to hear you already feel at home. We look forward to getting to know you over the years.
Same. Thank you very much.
We did good. Thank you for coming.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for coming. You know, now you'll know what she's doing on random Wednesday nights, right? So, and you too, you will also know what your mom is up to.
Thank you very much.
All right. Moving on, we have the opportunity to recognize our spring sports. Superintendent Owens, you want to kick it off for us,
Yeah,
please?
happy to kick it off. So spring sports, following a trend of sports happening at Centennial High School all year. So proud of the effort and the athletes this season. And so we have Dante Gouge from Centennial High School, our athletic director, who is going to introduce our athletes this evening in our various sports. And I just want to recognize the families and students who are here this evening because school is out, and so you have other things and choices, and you chose to come here and honor your students this evening, so thank you for being here. All right, Dante, take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much again for the opportunity. Obviously, also want to say that watching these 2 behind me hit the ground sprinting is proving to me how much I'm out of shape because they are just been go, go, go from stepping in the building. So it's really exciting just to have their leadership and sitting around a table yesterday looking through some of our data from the previous surveys. So it's just really exciting in that regards. We're going to get right to it. Our baseball team had kind of a tough season, pretty young on the baseball side of things. I did want to recognize that we do have a couple coaches in the spring. Bobby Craswell is a Centennial graduate. So I want to recognize that, first of all. And the boys baseball team ended the season with a 3.14 GPA. They had two second-team all-conference players. Logan Landault and Sawyer Walton were both second team. And then Connor Martin was honorable mention in the pitching category. And we just found out today that Logan Landault was recognized as honorable mention all-state for designated hitter and utility player. So it was a good season for them. The boys tennis team, Jared Johnson was recognized as coach of the year for the Northwest Oregon Conference. They finished the year with a 3.58 team GPA. And they had they had Carson Safon was second team all-conference singles play. Aston Law and Tenson Yeshi were a doubles team that were second team all-conference. And then Jordan Tumasak was also honorable mention in singles. On the girls' side, they finished this trimester with a 3.5 team GPA. Most teams will go through statewide and they'll just list like their actual varsity team, which makes up 4 singles and 4 doubles. But we have always done our entire squads. So that's the team GPAs for tennis, boys and girls, is roughly about 40 students on each team. 40 boys, 42 girls this year. So just throw that in there. Cheyenne Wolf was our lone all-league placer, honorable mention in singles. The boys track team finished the season with a 3.24 team GPA. They had a lot of all-league honors. So starting just at the top, Travian Shockley Washington was honorable mention in the 200. He was second team all-conference in the 400. And he was also honorable mention in the 4x4 and 4x1 relay. I don't know if any of my boys' team is here. So Easton Hopkins was honorable mention in the 800 meter and also on the 4x400 meter relay. Cody Chen was honorable mention in the 3,000 meter. Jonah Corrigan was second team all-conference in the 110 high hurdles, as well as ran on the 4x1 honorable mention relay. Driver Curtis, freshman, was second team all-conference in the pole vault. His coach is behind me, Fernando. Ronald Miner, a first-year track athlete, took second team honors in the high jump and was also honorable mention in both the 4x1 and the 4x4 relay. Qualified to state this year in the high jump, first time ever doing track and field. David Schmoll was first team all-conference and conference champion in the shot put, was second team all-conference in the discus and placed 4th at state. Henry Ness Foreman was honorable mention in the shot put, and Justin Jones Jr. was recognized as honorable mention in the 4x4 and the 4x1 relay. Breath, okay. The girls track team had a team GPA of 3.35, just slightly above the boys team there. Aubrey DeCraig was honorable mention in the 100 meter dash, the 400 meter dash, and was second team all conference in the 4x4 and the 4x1 relay. Jasmine De La Vega was honorable mention in the 100 meter dash and was also on the second team 4x1 relay. Torlin Johnson was honorable mention in the 100 meter dash and was also second team on the 4x4 relay. Kyla Davis was second team all conference in the 200 meter dash, second team all conference in the pole vault, Fernando again, and also second team all conference in the 4x4 relay. Ariana Miaznik was second team all conference in the 400 meter dash. She placed 7th place at state. She was honorable mention in the 300 meter hurdles. She was also on both 4x4 and 4x1 teams that ran at state. Callie Tappert, who's over here in the corner, was honorable mention in the 3,000 as a freshman, which is not a race that usually happens in, so we can publicly recognize Callie since she's here. Hawa Tawali is not here, but she was second team all-conference in the 110 hurdles. Mika Newman was honorable mention in the 100 high hurdles as well as the 300 hurdles. Alana Allen was first team all-conference and league champion in the triple jump, placed 7th in the triple jump at state. She was second team all-conference in the high jump, took 5th place at state. She was also honorable mention in the 300 hurdles and the 100 high hurdles. Kendall Bucher was honorable mention in both the shot put and the discus. Carmen Michelle Potts was honorable mention in the discus. Lily Lancaster was first team all-conference in the pole vault and placed 4th place at state. I believe it's the first time that a Centennial athlete has placed 4 times in state in school history. Grace Chienku was honorable mention in the high jump, and Albertina Delivery was second team all-conference in the 4x1 relay. So we're going to keep going. The girls softball team GPA was just shy of 3 points, so it's 2.99 team GPA. They had second team all-conference infielder, Amaya Rao. Second team all-conference infielder as well, Claire Karen. First team outfielder, Nevaeh Norris. We found out today that she was selected as first team all-state for 5A, so that was really exciting. She gets to play in the all-state game representing the West. And then the two that are joining us today, second team all-conference as a pitcher, Taylon Danner. Which correct me if I'm wrong, pitched every inning of every game for an entire 26-game season. Right? Tells you two things. She's got a really, really strong arm, and we need to develop some backup pitching. Okay. And then honorable mention catcher for us this year was Mia Belmer. Mia also actually snowboards for Centennial. She actually competed this year. She trained up on the mountain with Sandy and then competed with a Centennial bib. So she actually lettered in snowboarding technically for Centennial. So, and went to state. I have pictures of that, yeah. So another exciting thing that we didn't get to acknowledge in the winter, so. Yeah. Letterman jacket with a little snowboarder on it, which is pretty cool. So we're excited to have that, and a lot of success in the spring with almost 2 pages full of names to be recognized, so. A lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Congratulations to your coach who's with us this evening as well.
I think that might be the,
A huge,
wasn't sure if anybody else can.
huge responsibility. Parents, and guardians, and other helpers that have been along the way. We know just as much time is spent as your athlete is spending, because you got them there, brought them back. You know, wipe a few tears occasionally when that happens as well. You two, whoa, that's exciting. And what year?
Junior.
Oh, so you're gonna be with us a while. Excellent.
Just finish those, yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Well, what we'd like to do is make sure that you have an opportunity to get your picture with your coach, their athletic director, and a little bit more acknowledgement of the time and effort that it takes to be an athlete. And then the incredible representation for Centennial as well. Any other comments of board members, starting with Director Lind?
Congratulations. Thanks for repping Centennial.
Director Harden?
Yeah, congratulations. We're all very proud of you and nice job and go Eagles.
Director Mooring, Vice Chair?
Yeah, just congratulations. You represent us so well. You know, I like to tell my friends I get up and go to the gym 5 days a week. I need to start working out with all of you because you're actually accomplishing real things. So I need to know your secrets. You can tell me after you take photos, but please tell me your secrets. But congrats again. You've earned a summer and enjoy it.
Director Newman?
Congratulations. Most of you are behind me, but speak directly to across the room. Great work for all of you.
Director Stanley?
I'll do this. It takes a lot to manage all those different things, school and athletes, and maybe cleaning your room? Maybe? Any parents want to be? Nope. Okay. Okay. So thank you for developing those amazing multitasking skills now. Well done.
Director Selesky, who is with us virtually this evening.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations to all the students and parents. Give yourselves a pat on the back because you put a lot of work into these successes as well. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Board members, what we're going to do is just take a moment break so that we can deal with some certificates and some pictures. So, break.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
We're on part of the agenda, which is the approval of minutes. Like everybody else. Hi. Approval of minutes. You have the May 27th minutes in board book, and I assume you have read. Are there any questions? If not, can I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and second to approve the minutes as presented. All those in favor indicate with your hands raised and saying aye.
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 I see you, Rose. This time I got the camera on you. Thank you. All right, the minutes have been approved. No objections? No, okay. Public forum. Would like to check in and make sure. I wasn't aware of anybody for public forum that came in either in writing or said that they would be coming in. Okay, and I don't see anyone in here in the room with us this evening either. So we are moving past our public forum. All right, we are now into our report phase, although, well, that's kind of, I was talking about flexibility, but the budget hearing could be something that we could do quickly as well. I'm going to skip forward just to the budget hearing for the purposes of keeping that going more easily. Not for you, maybe, but. All right, so at this time, the board will recess to meet for the 2026-2027 budget hearing. The regular board meeting will resume after this hearing. The agenda for the budget hearing is as follows. We open this hearing and we allow for public comment, any board deliberation, and then we'll close the hearing. So we are now open and public comment will be accepted. Do we have anybody that has come along in the agenda? If somebody comes in later because I, moved us forward, we can certainly make sure that I, acknowledge that. All right. Any public comment? Going once. Any public comment? Not hearing any public comment. Board deliberation, starting with Director Stanley.
I have no questions or anything needing clarification.
Thank you. Director Newman.
No questions, no need for clarifications.
Vice Chair Moring.
No questions at this time?
Director Harden.
No questions, but I do want to acknowledge and thank the Budget Committee members for their engagement this year. We had, how many questions off the top of your head, Paul?
Yeah, it was more than 50 overall, after thorough review of the budget and very detailed, great questions, solid review from the committee.
Thank you, Paul. And so I would just want to acknowledge them and say thank you for volunteering. And there are going to more than likely be spots open for anyone out there that may be interested.
Thank you. Director Lynn.
No questions. Thank you.
Chair Shields, I just want to acknowledge your work, Director Harden, in our Budget Committee process. You're right on top of it. I appreciate that you keep us in mind and keep us informed. And I'm not sure how much it keeps you going to, Director Sutherland, but I would imagine that that's part of it as well.
Yeah.
Are there any comments that you would like to make prior to closing the budget hearing?
No, just extending Director Harden and Budget Chair Harden's gratitude to the committee, gratitude to the business office team. We've got a great team that puts the document together, and a great overall team in the district. So a lot of time and effort going into this, so I appreciate everybody's thoughtful consideration and review of the budget.
Thank you. Director Selesky?
No questions.
Superintendent Owens?
Good work. We see what's happening around us adjacent to our school district, and grateful for the prudence that the board and budget committee and budget office and our administration and school district have towards keeping us into a financially solvent place to be able to focus on students and learning versus budget and impact. So appreciation. Thank you.
And amen to that, because we all feel what's happening around us with our neighboring school districts, so appreciate that. So now, I read back from the script that after we have heard from everyone here and public comment has been allowed for, the regular board meeting will now resume. Well, that was easy, right? It wasn't easy. It was a lot of hard work, but it culminates in our ability to say thank you for the work that's been done. Alrighty. I guess that gets us up to our report for comprehensive substance and use prevention and intervention plan report. Well, that was a lot. Director Olson. Superintendent Owens, anything you want to say before Director Olson gets into the report?
No, thank you.
Why is it showing? Okay, it switched over. I have my notes. Good evening, board. I am here tonight to present to you our comprehensive substance use prevention and intervention plan. The Centennial School District prioritizes health and safety of students and a supportive learning environment, and the comprehensive substance use prevention and intervention plan, aligned with OAR 581-022-2045, is a written formality of practices already in place and outlines CSD's commitment to prevention and intervention. Plans must address requirements in the categories of K-12 health instruction, including substance use prevention education that meets the health education standards, including a minimum of 1 ODE opioid prevention education lesson in grades 6, 7, and 8, and at least once in high school. Other categories include policies, rules, and procedures on substance use, how we communicate elements of the plan with students, staff, and families, our referral and emergency medical procedures, and how we provide staff development related to the district's plan and their roles and responsibilities within the plan, as well as alcohol and drug use prevention education. The plan was developed in consultation with teachers, counselors, social workers, administrators, local community health agency partners, and parents and students from the Equity Committee. Part of our process in writing this plan was conducting a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Areas of strength include a newly adopted K-12 health curriculum, strong foundations in social emotional learning and multi-tiered systems of support, and dedicated counselors, social workers, and community partners. Areas for growth, or our strategic priorities, include continuing to strengthen prevention education, improving early identification and intervention, increasing staff capacity in these areas, strengthening family and community partnership, and alignment of systems and best practices. The bulk of the plan that you were provided can be found in sections 2 and 3, and further outlines our strategic improvement plan in each of these 4 goal areas: instruction, rules, policies, and procedures, communication, and staff training. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Director Lynn?
Yeah, you mentioned the Equity Committee. What was their role or input that you got from them?
We brought a draft, one of our drafts of the plan to the Equity Committee, had them review pertinent sections of it, and provide feedback to us on whether or not it read well, whether or not they had any questions, or any suggestions for it.
Director Harden?
My question was about prescription drugs. Are any of those covered under the plan? Or in health classes or part of the curriculum? Or?
It's definitely part of the curriculum, is explaining to students that, that there is a difference between prescription and, non-prescription drugs, but that we, that being cognizant of the possibility of still being able to abuse prescription drugs.
Thank you.
Director Maureen? Vice Chair, excuse me.
So I know we're directing this at our students. Do we make efforts to communicate this to the households as well? Or is there a way that our families have an understanding of the substance abuse education we're providing? I ask from the perspective of the more of us who are educated on the topic, the more.
Absolutely, yes, and that's part of, our goal area in that communication section, is to, we can always do a better job of communicating with our families and our community about what our health education includes and what our systems and processes are for prevention and intervention.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Director Newman?
Just always forgotten. So I think it was at the high school level, the education is in health class, correct?
It is.
And is that in the curriculum for the students who do health through the CBA
Yes.
class?
Yes, same standards.
Director Stanley?
I guess my only question would be, it says one time through high school. Is there a catch-up swooping process for kids that transfer in so that we can make sure they have the information as well with the mobility rate around? Just curious.
That's a really good question, and I'll bring that back to the team at the high school, and we'll see what we can consider.
Director Slosky, I want to just kind of follow up on Director Stanley for just a moment with that same question, and then you'll be ready, right? The swooping up, as you were mentioning, we do it once. So and it's only in the health class?
Once is what is in the language. I believe that the practice at the high school has been to do it annually through advisory class, as well as for those years that students don't have health education. With the switch to away from advisory next year, that'll be something that we'll be working with the health department and the new administration at the high school around. So I appreciate your question. I'll forward it to them.
Thank you. Director Slosky.
Yeah, I had a follow-up on Chair Shields' question about prescription drugs. Does it also talk about like fentanyl and the serious risk of fentanyl could be, I don't need to get into the whole thing, but I just want to make sure that that's also included in there.
Yes, those are a part of the required lessons.
Okay, any other, yes, just how dare you do that?
Thank you. Just for a quick follow-up on Director Harden and the frequency question. With our student athletes, is there anything targeting pain management or, preparing them on how to manage pain and leaning them away from like opioid addiction?
Certainly, part of the standard is, having students think about like resiliency skills and other coping mechanisms for stress, pain, other reasons that students may turn to substances. I can't speak specifically to pain management for athletes, but that's a great question we can look more closely into.
It would be very nice for them to be receiving that annually, every athlete. Thank you.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the curriculum for around substance uses and abuses, not the entirety of our health curriculum.
Correct.
This is that section of our health curriculum.
Correct.
Anything else, though, that directors that just kind of came to mind? Questions? Rose, you good? Okay, gotcha. All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All righty, thank you for that. I did screw up by not letting Director Southerton do his budget adoption presentation, but can we do that presentation in conjunction with the business item, that'll come in later. Okay, appreciate your flexibility on that. All right, directors, confirmation items, we have one correction we want you to be aware of. In human resources, number 3, approval of resignation and retirements. There was a typographical error that is going to be taken care of. It's not a resignation, it's actually a retirement, and it will be cleaned up, if you will, in that document before it becomes part of the permanent record. But were there any other questions, concerns as it relates to the items under confirmation?
Yeah, I couldn't quite hear you clearly. So I know that there was a typo as retirement resignation. There was also a typo as to the school. So just wanting to make sure that that was corrected, that
Yes.
it wasn't Centennial High School, it was Pleasant Valley Elementary.
Thank you. And it's been noted, and it'll be corrected as part of the permanent record, so board members know that it's been flagged. Thank you. All right, do I have a motion to approve confirmation items as listed?
So moved.
Oops.
Seconded then.
We have a motion and a second to approve the confirmation items as listed. All those in favor indicate by raising your hand and saying aye.
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 Any opposition to that? No. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Alrighty, we're into board action items and old business, and we're in the second read of policy resolution BHD, board member compensation. And Director Lynn, you're going to kick that off for us, right? And help us through that process.
Great. You'll see in board book the resolution, policy, and an associated AR. After the last meeting, we took several of the comments and reconvened a little bit and went over several things to kind of add some clarity and some accountability as well. There was some issues about how much per meeting. I don't necessarily see that in the resolution. It says per the board, the budget allocation. But there was just a little discussion of per meeting versus prorated between meetings of the month. And that is just regular and work session meetings. It was clarified that executive session meetings and emergency meetings and meetings that are solely executive meetings would not qualify, and that nobody could get more than 2 stipends a month. It was kind of bandied about a little bit, but paid monthly instead of quarterly, so that it could be more accurate. And we clarified that if a person is removed for non-attendance, they will not get any of the associated unpaid stipends. So that was the clarifications, and those were reflected, I believe, in the AR.
You have other committee members, any committee member comment before we open it up for questions from other board members?
Thank you, yeah. I think that there were just a couple of things where we wanted board input, everyone's input on, one being the amount, to Director Lynn's point. There was not unanimous agreement within the committee on what that should be. So we wanted to get everybody's input on that since it affects everybody. And I think the other question was whether we would be voting to authorize these on an annual or perpetual basis until the board would take action on it again. So I think those are 2 points that we wanted to make sure the board had some input on before we move to adoption.
Nothing more to, I think Director Lynn and Vice Chair Moring covered it nicely.
Is there a recommendation from the committee about a preference or a position on the annual versus perpetual?
I would certainly recommend the perpetual so that it did not clog up business unnecessarily. If a future board or we want to revisit it, we can certainly bring it back.
Is that kind of your guys',
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have read it and really worked with it, so it's kind of like, I read it through and went, okay, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, okay, but if you are comfortable with that recommendation, then you would be recommending the perpetual. Any questions about the AR? Because I know that was the consensus of all the questioning, right? That get into the AR. Any other questions about the AR, Director Stanley?
Oh, I don't know that it's a question about that. I just, the perpetual, is there wording to be reviewed in 3 years, or like, at least, I mean, it needs to be reviewed sometime. I don't wanna go like a policy with 14 years later, we're looking at it again. Like, is there, I just randomly picked that number. But is there could we put something in so that we look at it again at another date, not 2 decades from now?
That's a great point. I don't think we specifically addressed that in the committee, but I would just offer, I guess, is my own opinion, that there is some review of it every time a position changes over, because we have to re-vote somebody in, and so if you were new to the board, or if you were new to the board, which happens every few years, right? We would have to re-educate that board member on those. So I think there is some opportunity to review, but we could certainly go back and discuss being more specific about making sure we don't go
14
X
years?
number of years like we have with some other policies, right?
I think that the onboarding of a new member is a good time to do that. It logically makes sense. So, anyway, I just wanted to make sure at some point eyes are on it again.
Good point.
That's something that I know that our superintendent does some onboarding work with new board members, as does our executive assistant, in terms of the things that Missy will, walk us through about availability of information, how board book works, things of that nature. So we would be able to catch it there. And then if we're gonna live with this, I mean, we'll vote it in, but we'll live with it, and if we figure out that there are things that could be done differently or need to be done differently, then it's a matter that we could always come back and revisit it, because this is our first time through. Yep. I'm gonna put Director Southerton on the spot. Are you fine with the business office? I mean, it works in your world for us. I don't wanna put you guys in a situation either.
Thank you, Chair Shields. We're confident we can operationalize and support this, should the board wish to pass it.
Okay.
Do you have an opinion as to whether that should be paid monthly or quarterly, or the frequency of payment?
Monthly is our preference. It's in alignment with other stipends and payments that go out.
And that's already what you mentioned, right? Okay, all right. So again, there's such a number of these items. Are we going to, how would you like this to proceed? Do we proceed like approval of the policy, then separately whether we're doing an annual perpetual, and then the AR? And I guess I'm asking if board directors are comfortable enough going through and voting on these items tonight.
We still need to decide on the stipend amount.
That's the problem. Okay, committee members, do you have a recommendation that you've been thinking about as you've done the research again on this? Is there something specific that comes to mind?
We were not in unanimous agreement.
Oh, dear Lord. Then could we know what dollar amounts are out there for discussion?
Well, I think if we, I had thrown out the first suggestion, Director Mooring had kind of thrown out the second suggestion, which I was very fine with, in terms of the proration. I started out 200 per meeting, flat, no more than 2, so if there's a work session, you get another one. With the proration, it would be $400 per month, allocated between either 1 or 2 meetings of what's scheduled. And I believe Director Newman had thrown out $300 a month, and not tied to attendance.
Yeah. $200 a meeting, and I think it worked out $200 a meeting, not tied, $200 a meeting, or $300 a month tied to attendance, worked out about the same annual amount.
So when it's all is said and done, the budget impact would be similar, if not the same?
Yeah, so we were not in, I think, disagreement. I think we were throwing out suggestions there.
Yeah, we just didn't have unanimous.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Is that because there's some months that have 1 meeting? And some months that have 2, right?
Yeah.
Right, right.
Okay, you're all looking at me blankly, and I was like, I know, math is hard, but I didn't think it was that hard. Okay, got it.
Sorry, Director Lynn.
I'm sorry,
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, add that I was supportive, Director Morgan's idea.
and somehow and I apologize, the reason why I'm doing this is I'm looking for Rose, because I was looking at the other things, and now I've missed Rose.
Please,
I know you're there.
please don't forget to put your microphones on. There's some of you
My
that I can't
microphone is
hear.
on.
Director Southerton.
Oh, directors,
just talking to me.
Oh,
Shots
my
fired.
gosh.
I,
Okay,
No,
can I
apologies.
say something else?
yes.
Is it my turn? I do have a question.
Oh, okay, never mind, I'll wait.
Okay. Director Selesky, I see you now. I've got you on camera. Thank you.
Okay, it's actually less of a question and more of just a note to make sure, because when you were vice chair, you put together that huge onboarding packet that Missy kind of manages. So wanting to make a note in our minutes so that Missy, when she comes back, she can be like, oh yes, this is something that I have to add to the onboarding packet.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Director Stanley?
I mean, I think we're all aware that I'm the one that misses the most meetings. So I would rather see this tied to everybody's attendance. Like, I just think it would be nicer. And I'm saying I was the one who's gonna miss meetings. So it seems if we're gonna move forward, it would help in those situations where it isn't a very specific scheduled event that's, you know, I'm on stage keeping me from being here, as opposed to I just didn't show up because I didn't feel like it. That is another incentive possibly to keep what has happened to the board in previous years of people just stopping being around to come. Is my perspective is the one that it would affect in that way. I still think it's a nice idea to look at it in that perspective. So.
Okay, since I'm the one who said maybe don't tie it to attendance, I don't feel strongly about tying it to attendance, just to be clear. Either way, I do think we need to define what attendance is a little more closely. Is it coming for the entire meeting? Is it coming for 50% of the meeting? What happens when a meeting runs half an hour past the original scheduled time? Do we count if someone needs to leave before that's over as attending or not attending? So I think we would want to define attendance a little more clearly in that case.
And I'm just looking at committee members, because I know you've spent a great deal of time discussing it, and it's really helpful to keep this going this way.
Yeah, and I would hope not to get too much into the weeds, or judging necessarily. If a person, I would think if a person is signed in for part of the meeting, they've attended the meeting. And again, if that becomes a problem, we can tighten that down in the future as well. But I think just to respect that everybody has things going on in their lives, people can kind of be sick, and now with Zoom, you can kind of be sick and still attend. Sometimes you're too sick to attend. You know, if an emergency happens in the middle of a meeting, I don't want you to even think about, you know, whether you're gonna, you know, the stipend is gonna apply or not. I would say it should just be if you attend even part of a meeting, in person or Zoom, that's attendance.
That's good. I was mostly just, what is it? Let's not be ambiguous about what it means.
I
Thank
think it's good to have that information too. It's like let the record reflect, right? The discussion shows that. And if you are ill, I mean, if I'm ill at my job, I still get paid for that day, because I have that allowance within my world. And I don't know if that's true of everybody's world, but it seems that the person who may be absent a particular day didn't mean that they didn't prep, weren't ready, but something happened in their life and they weren't able to attend. And so I don't want to get too strict, because I think Director Lynn has captured it. Stuff happens and we need to respect people.
And I also recognize Director Newman made a great point in our discussions about how it's somewhat, you know, we can tie it to attendance, but also recognizing that people are putting in a lot of work outside of the meetings as well, and that's kind of recognizing that.
Director Soleski, I saw your hand.
I was just gonna say something and then you said it, so we're all good.
We're all good. Well, thank you. All right. So, yeah, no, I really do want to clarify.
I love asking questions. So then to clarify, because my concern comes more from the situation of just like the no call, no show, time after time after time again. I thought I heard you mention before in one of the conversations, like in that instance, removal would lead to the non-stipend. are there steps that are in this that I just have missed that lead to that? Like,
Well, I can answer that question.
well, great. I mean, if somebody would, that would be great, because it's like, oh, hey, I'll miss 2 or 3 meetings, but I will tell you when I'm missing, as opposed to just like going MIA. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? Probably without saying names. Okay, thanks.
It does refer back to our board policy about
Right.
removal from, and all applicable laws related to that. And if they're supposed to get 2 and they've missed 2, they're not gonna get either for that month. Or if they get
would
removed if they get removed on the second month.
I got you.
meeting of the month.
Thank you.
Director Slosky, I see you.
Yeah, I just want to echo what people are saying about attendance. I know that, for example, like I know that there's a person who is in plays, but they do all of the reading and all of the prep and communicate what their votes are and how their thoughts are. So there's a lot of work still going in, even though you're not attending the meeting. So that's why that's kind of, I wanted to throw that out there.
So I'm attending a wedding and I don't come? Do I tell you that? Is there, I mean, we often talk, do we just make sure we communicate why we're not in attendance when we can?
I think it's less important about why and more important the preparation that you've done.
Okay, thank you.
I do think it's important to communicate if you can't come. Like, if I don't always sorry, Rose. If I don't always communicate it, say with you, Missy always knows when I cannot be at a meeting or that kind of thing. So I just think that's important too, that chain of like communication that Missy will always know.
I think we always do. Everyone's really good about
I think
communicating.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always know. It's never a surprise if somebody
Yeah.
is absent.
Well, and frankly, I really appreciated the opportunity to be able to Zoom in when having to be out of town and yet still participate, and that this works, the environment that we're in now works for that. And that we're not using it as an abuse. We do it regularly in our work sessions, but those who can't, but are well enough to even maybe not have their cameras on, but they're here, right, and doing the work, so that's important. Have we come to an understanding? Does anything need to be in writing, committee members? Do you feel that there needs to be a sentence added in this, or that this discussion has been good enough to move forward with your documents as they've been presented this evening?
We haven't had a chance to give Director Harden a moment.
Director Harden, you need a moment.
I just
I like the changes.
Thanks. Okay.
Continue. I'm ready to vote.
Okay.
Move on.
Well, we went around the room, got everybody, but yeah, I didn't want to leave you out.
I think my final ask would just be to Paul or James, if there's any changes you guys need to clarify anything.
From my standpoint, I mean, just operationalizing it, it would be different. It would be preferable for us, I think, to separate the stipend from board attendance. So if you have an issue with folks not attending, the board deals with that with the board policy. We're not dealing that with the stipend. As Director Stanley has said, and others many times, there's a lot of prep that goes into work outside, and you attend various events and do a lot of research, and there's engagement with legislative officials and other things going on, right? I think the idea of the stipend is for the holistic work, not just the board meeting that you're attending. So I would propose that you deal with attendance outside of the stipend issue and just separate those issues, because you have a board policy on members or board of directors that don't attend. And then that keeps you from Missy having to track attendance and report it through the system, and, oh, I marked somebody absent who was really present, they were online, and we didn't, gets into this, were you there, were you not there? I just wouldn't conflate those two issues. I think performance of duties or attendance and performance of duties is separate from the overall work of being a board member. So I would propose you just do a flat stipend and not have it necessarily based on attendance.
I hear you, and I respectfully disagree to a point. The AR, excuse me, is, I think, fairly clear, and I think this discussion is absolutely cleared it up for me. Removal of a board member by the policy that we have is next to impossible, and I know this because I've been through it.
Sure.
So, that's a hard-pressed situation, and I think attendance is leverage. I don't know if that's a good word to use in this example, but I think that it can be. So that's, I'm just in that point, and maybe it's because of what my experience has been.
Sure. Yeah, and we're able and absolutely 100% will support whatever the board, approves and puts in place in practice. We have no objection to supporting, just if asked for our opinion, that's what I would share.
Which we did in that.
Yes,
Good.
yes, you did.
No, I
And we are tracking attendance, it is on the minutes, so it is.
Yeah.
We do track, and we also have to track for PACE and other coverage, insurance coverage, as I understood it.
Yes.
So there is some that goes on with that. Well, have we done it? As Director Harden says, he's ready to vote. Move on.
I guess the final question, or now the next final question, is the order. Do we approve the resolution and policy and AR, and then, like, which is the one that needs to go three positions per? And I guess that would be from Missy or
Yeah,
James.
I think administratively, we have one step to do to make sure the AR reflects the decisions we just made about the perpetual and the stipend amount, and then I believe we're gonna want OSBA to take a look at this before we adopt.
Yeah, Chair, if I may,
Yeah.
you had called on me and I wanted to,
And then I just totally ignored it.
then you went on. But back to Vice Chair Mooring's point, I think that there's some reconciliation of the discussion with the documents that would be helpful. I don't want to invite more process than is needed here, but it seems like it might be that we want to tighten things up. I drafted the AR based on an email thread that was between the directors, and so because I believe that Centennial would be the second district in the state to approve stipends, if the board chooses to do so, I don't know that they've seen an AR associated with it at OSBA, so I would want OSBA to look at that first, and for us to get the stipend resolutions with the dollar amounts populated in them, and just tighten it up and then bring it back on the first would be my recommendation. It would make me feel more comfortable, but it's all y'all call.
So if we get it tightened up with the discussion, the committee will do that, and then the committee then could also recommend whether or not it could be approved during confirmation, or if you think, based on this, we would need one more time to have an opportunity to ask questions. And I think the committee has heard everything that you guys need to hear, and if we can approve it as part of a confirmation, great. But if not, you find something from OSBA or OSBA legal that we need to come back, then we'll come back and put it as a regular agenda item. Did I get that
Yes.
clarified? Okay, good?
Were you gonna jump in? I think two things. I think you could put the policy and draft AR in confirmation, but then you would need to do the resolutions in an action item because of the voting mechanism for it.
For it, got it. Are we comfortable moving forward with that, or would you like that to be reviewed now that we've had a conversation about it being a perpetual rather than an annual, because there was a question about how it gets reviewed, even though it might be added as the new board member packet process. I'm looking at my committee members.
Let's be really clear about what amount we're talking about, too, before we say, let's take this up next meeting.
Yeah, is there is a motion appropriate to make sure that we have it in confirmation items? And that, well, that we've voted on what should be put into confirmation items?
We're allowed to put things into confirmation items, as I understand it, and Christine could help me with this, please. Because we all have the opportunity to read the confirmation items, and if we disagree, right, or we have a concern, we pull them out. So if you as committee members review all the documents, and with the superintendent, as it is his committee, right, then you could present it in the confirmation items. Or we put it in the agenda, and then you guys say, these are the things that we changed, recommended, and we'll do it as part of the regular meeting. in July.
Well, I'm thinking of as a wrap-up for tonight, would I potentially make a motion saying that I would like the policy AR and resolutions to be finalized for the next meeting with a $400 stipend, prorated, and perpetual? Just to
Does-
make sure that that we
That
have
it gets
that
done.
vote, that,
Or that
yeah.
we're on an agreement.
All right, so, we got, does everyone know what's been said? And I'm looking at you too, Rose, but Director Stanley has a question.
Yes, I do, because we had that conversation between the 400 and 300, and the 300 reflects the months that we have one meeting, and the 400 was 2. That was why those two numbers were thrown out. And I'm just curious if 4 is going to be the overall general amount, and 300's off the table now. Yes?
Yes, I was proposing
Yes.
that as a
Great,
way
okay.
forward, yeah.
Okay.
I told you I like questions. I will continue to ask them as I need to.
And,
I can second.
and committee members, you're good with this proposed motion too? And
Great.
Christine? No, I
Well,
know. That's okay.
It was a hypothetical, so.
It's a hypothetical.
Actually made it, that's why
So-
I asked the question.
I would say you can motion.
I don't believe a motion is needed, but if you're gonna make any motion, it definitely needs to include pending a review by OSBA, because otherwise it could be mistaken for a vote on the item.
On each of the items. So your motion was pending OSBA approval that this would be placed in confirmation items with the perpetual language and the, an amount of $400.
Yes.
Did I get it?
Did you say prorated in there?
Oh,
But, yeah.
Prorated.
That
as
was the idea. Yeah, pending, I would make a motion that pending OSBA approval, we move the AR resolution and policy forward with a $400 prorated stipend in perpetual until changed by the board.
Board members, does that make all sense? So we've got the motion, do we have the second? That was Rose. Rose, did you catch that, or you're the second? Yes.
Yes, I can be second. Did we say the AR had to be separate though?
It,
The resolutions, I
Sorry.
have to be separate next time.
yeah, the resolution has to be separate. The-
Oh, right, okay. He just said, yes, he said the right things. Yes, we're good. Sorry, my confusion.
And we can
I
play
second
this-
it.
We can play the YouTube tape again as needed, right?
Yes, YouTube tape.
Director Harden?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Aye.
think we're ready to vote.
Call for the vote.
All right. All those in favor of the motion as presented?
Aye.
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 Aye, Ross. All right. Thank you, Director Harden. You guys are fun. Yeah, well, that's
Lots of work, guys.
a
Thank
good one. All righty. Now, let's get into, that was our old business. Our new business is the approval of the comprehensive substance use prevention and intervention plan. Director Olson, any questions before we put the motion to approve? Do I have a motion to approve the comprehensive substance use prevention and intervention plan?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded to approve the comprehensive substance use prevention and intervention plan. All those in favor indicate by hand and voice. Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, good job, you people. You're
Thank you.
doing it great. You're doing it great. Yeah, like we're gonna cover everything that could possibly be done. Are we all comprehensive?
This one really super.
All right, so, I guess I should read the whole thing. Chief Financial Officer and Director of Operations, Paul Southerton, you are going to walk us through the budget adoption and what we would be motioning to approve. We had our budget hearing. We haven't seen anybody else come online to find, if they had missed it. You just need to get us ready for that motion.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Shields. Hope you all enjoyed that brief break. I think I stepped away for 2 minutes, so back. But yeah, pleased to be with you again. We'll walk you through the budget process and what you'll be considering voting on in just a moment. So we'll be going through the updates to the budget, the changes between the approved budget and what's before you for adoption tonight. Specifically, we have 2 financial changes that finalized in that month gap between the approved budget and currently. A summary of the budget overall, and then an opportunity for questions before you'll be considering a motion to adopt the budget formally. So, updated changes, as I said, we had 2 financial changes resulting in around $9,400 in impact. So, finalizing the lease purchase of copier replacements primarily at the high school and a couple other schools across the district. So there was a placeholder amount in the adopted or in the approved budget, but now that's been finalized in the time, and it is an increase of $73.81. And then as the board approved, we engaged in a partial refunding of the general obligation 2020 capital bonds. So we have the series 2026. And we were off by $2,000 in the overall amount of the payment for next year, so that's recognized in the updated change. Non-financial changes include a updated schedule now of the future bond payments that go out, including that refunding 2026. Overall, what that looks like is an impact to the ending fund balance of the $73.81. So forecasting instead of $16,373,974, that changing to $16,366,593 at the end of June 30, 2027, should things progress as we've budgeted. And then in the debt service fund, which is a separate from the general fund, right? It's in the budget, but it's the debt service fund. You'll notice the impact we had estimated interest being higher, and it's lower, which is great, and then that amount in principal just swaps there. So the net impact is an overall $2,055 difference from what was approved by the committee. That's the end of all the financial changes, which is good. There shouldn't be a lot of changes. The only reason for changes between the approved and the adopted budget are things that were unforeseen, unknown by the administration. It's not permissible to hold back changes or to wait until an adopted budget is for putting in things in place that you know is going to happen. So when we get to this stage, there shouldn't be a lot of changes, so it's good news. Overall, the 2026-2027 budget maintains all current services to students, continues leveraging grants and special funds to support students' mental health, supports learning specialists, special educations, and smaller class sizes. It also continues investments in the co-curricular activities that the board and budget committee have approved in recent years, and continues investments in improving teaching and learning spaces for students. So, importantly to note, it is forecasting up to a $3.5 million budget deficit, so spending in excess of the resources that we'll receive from the state as planned as part of our planned fund balance spend down program. So, and the reason it's up to is that is inclusive of contingency, and in recent years we haven't spent contingency, so it could be between 2.5 and 3.5. So just important to note, if that dollar amount gives you pause, that is the maximum amount pending an additional supplemental budget, additional action from the board. So that is kind of the outer range. Overall, pleased to say that it's very much a student-focused budget. We have made strong gains in reducing class sizes at the elementary level and across all levels. As reflective on this slide, I won't read it line for line. It is the same as the proposed and adopted budget. But important to note that across pre-K through third grade, we have average class sizes of 25, and indeed that holds when you average out fourth and fifth as well across the system, and you'll see in a later slide. And continues all the supports that we've added for students largely across the district and programming. So very pleased that we're able to, even in tough times, focus on have a very much a student-focused, instructional-focused budget. It also maintains the committee's priorities of co-curricular activities, student government, student leadership activities, ASB advisors at the middle school level, which we brought back a couple years ago, and maintains that. And then all our CTE programs, co-curricular programs, continuation programs, middle college, and other credit opportunities for high school programs that are in accelerated programs and things like that. So we're maintaining all that programming, including Cal. So overall, I said 1 to 24, so under 25 students on the average at the elementary level across all grades in the elementary level. So that's pre-K through 5th. And then a ratio of 23 to 1 at the secondary level. Important to note, secondary is not distributed equally. You may have a band class with 60 students in there, or PE class with 50 students. You may have a elective or arts or metal with 12 students. So these are ratios. When you factor in prep time, the ratio goes up to about 30. So just wanting to be completely transparent with that, and that's the number in parentheses. So informed by the Centennial Budget Committee as well as Centennial community, staff, and students throughout ongoing strategic planning, engagement, implementation sessions, the administration respectfully submits for your consideration the 26-27 Centennial School District budget is amended to a total of $177,513,722. The general fund budget in the amount of $104,856,962. And all other funds of $72,656,760. The proposed general fund permanent tax rate is $4.7448 per 1,000 of assessed value, and the property tax levy is $4,727,138 for the 26-27 bonded general obligation debt payments, both principal and interest. A lot of numbers there, a lot of information. I welcome questions and feedback from the board.
Director Stanley?
No questions, just a comment of thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Director Newman?
Same, no questions, but also great gratitude for the work of the entire team.
Vice Chair Moore?
I will say the same. The risk of sound like a broken record. No questions and immense amount of gratitude for the team's work on this year's budget.
Thank you.
Director Harden?
No questions, great job.
Director Lind?
No questions, thank you.
Director Solsky?
No questions. Very proud of this district. Congratulations.
Chair Shields? Dang, you know, it's just, we're so thankful that we are not in that type of situation and that the stress that I've seen from my colleagues in other districts, what they're going through right now. That we have had the opportunity to, you know, step from that. Appreciate it. Superintendent Owens, before we go to the motion process, do you have any questions, concerns, or additional comments?
Nope, thank you.
All right, then what we need, if I understand this, Christine, correctly, on a motion like this, it's really necessary to read the whole thing into the record, or can I do it by presentation? I think it does too. My recollection is we have to read it.
Yeah.
Do I have a
Pretty legal for this one.
yeah, board members, do I have someone who, actually, Director Southerton, that last, we have a board note, we have the slide. Does the board note suffice for the motion if we read the board?
Yeah, the actual motion is attached in board book,
Okay.
and the board note, it concludes with, it's recommended that the board adopt the 26-27 budget, appropriate funds for 26-27, and categorize and levy ad valorem taxes as presented in the resolution. So you're approving the resolution as presented in board book there.
All right,
But we also have the formal resolution, which I'm happy to display so that it can be read aloud.
I just know that we've in the past taken great care
Yeah,
to make sure that this is properly in the record and reflected. And so the resolution, I'm pulling mine up, apologize for the slowness of my
Yeah.
actions.
and I'm happy to display it as well, if that's helpful.
Whew.
Yeah. and we can take it section by section.
All right, I need someone to read Resolution 1, not all of the details in terms of each of the dollar amounts, but as presented in Resolution number 1, the be it resolved portions of that, I think would be sufficient to make sure it is clear in the record. Do I have such a reader of a motion? Don't make me do it.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I would like to make a motion for be it resolved that the Board of Directors of Centennial School District number 20 AJT hereby adopt the budget for the fiscal year 2026, 2027 in the total amount of $177,513,722. This budget is now on file at the Centennial District Administration Office in Portland, Oregon. Be it resolved that the amounts shown on the shown below on the document are hereby appropriated by the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026, for the following purposes. As presented in board book.
I second it.
Down below all the numbers, be it resolved.
Be it resolved that the following ad valorem property taxes are hereby imposed upon the assessed value of all taxable property within the district for tax year 2026, 2027. 1, at the rate per thousand of assessed value at $4.7448 per permanent rate tax, And number 2, in the amount of $4,727,138 for debt service for general obligation bonds. Be it resolved that the taxes imposed are hereby categorized for purposes of Article 11, Section 11B as the permanent rate tax, $4.7448 per thousand, and the general obligation bond debt services, $4,727,138.
Now can I second it?
Second.
Yeah, second it.
You did the hard work.
Any concerns? Executive assistant? As presented.
As presented in board book.
Thank you so much.
Second it again.
Second. We have the motion. We have the second. All those in favor indicate by raising your hand and saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you, Director Harden, for doing that.
That was very
If something goes wrong, you can blame me.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness
exactly.
gracious.
Put on my tab.
Put it on your tab. So, board members, we're about to go into executive session, so let's get back here at no later than 8:05. 10-minute break. Go.
10 minutes.
Recording stopped.